Hi guys, hope everybody is doing well. Welcome back to my channel. Today we will be doing the mid-year reading wrap-up tag that I've seen quite a few people do on YouTube and TikTok. I have the list of questions here on my laptop, so I will be going through them and yeah. Okay, so question 1 is the best book you have read in 2025. If you have seen any of my content, whether that's on TikTok or Instagram or here, then you will know the answer to this one already, but it is Take My Hand by Delene Perkins Valdez. This is a historical fiction novel. It's dual timeline, so it switches between present day and 1970s Alabama. The town is Montgomery, Alabama, and I'm going to read the back because I've tried to explain it a few times and I just don't want to give spoilers away because I just think everybody should. So the back says, Montgomery, Alabama, 1973. Fresh out of nursing school, Sybil Townsend has big plans to make a difference in her community. She wants to help women make their own choices for their lives and bodies, but when her new job takes her down a dusty country road to a tumble-down cabin and into the heart of the Williams family, Sybil discovers there is more to her role than she bargained for, and when a terrible injustice befalls the two young sisters, India and Erica, Sybil must risk everything to stand up for what is right. So this was inspired by true events, and I think that's what has stuck with me the most, that the events of this book not only were happening at some point in history, but in the 70s, which really in the grand scheme of history isn't that long ago. It's certainly within my parents' lifetime. I love this. The writing was beautiful. I can't stop thinking about it. I don't know how this is going to get beaten for my favourite book of the year in total, let alone so far. I will be purchasing her other books. I think she's got one or two more books, and I would definitely be reading them. But that is my favourite book of the year so far. Okay, so question number 2 is best sequel you've read so far this year. So I started a couple of fantasy series this year. I'm making my way through a lot of series, so I've read a lot of sequels. The best one, and it might be that I'm biased because I've just finished it. So not only have I wrapped up the series, it was only like a couple of weeks ago, but that is Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. This is book number 8 in the Throne of Glass series. So everything's been wrapped up. There's 8 books. You've been up with these characters for a long time. You've gone on their journeys. You've loved and you've lost and everything. So maybe it's cheating but this is the best sequel I've read so far this year. It's incredible. Everything ties up really nicely. It's emotional. It's really well written. Honorary mention as well because I really enjoyed doing the tandem read, which also counts as a sequel because it was book 6 and 7. Really enjoyed doing the tandem read, which is the 2 books before this. I love one of the things I love about this series is how many powerful women there are. And they're women in positions of power and how they navigate that, and yeah, love it. If you're into fantasy, romantasy, and you haven't yet read Throne of Glass, I do encourage you to pick it up. Though if you haven't read Akatar yet, I would maybe say start with that, but you might prefer this. So yeah, Throne of Glass, Kingdom of Ash, book number 8 of 8 in the series. Best sequel I've read so far this year. Okay, question number 4 is most anticipated. Nope, ignore me. Question number 3 is new release you haven't read yet but you want to. So I have 2 for this. One of them is on my July TBR, so I will be getting to that this month. And I am planning on filming a vlog, which this book will be included. That book is Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford. This is book 5 in the Windy City series, and I can't wait. I'm really, really excited. We are getting a spin-off, but it won't be quite the same. So that is one of the books that I'm really looking forward to. And the other one is Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh. I have heard that this book is nothing but pain. I have just finished, I don't know where I've put it now. Oh, here it is. I've just finished Saving 6. I finished that a few days ago, and nothing but pain. And apparently this is worse. So it's going to take me a little while to get to that one because I am only this is number 6, and I've only just finished number 3 because I have to take breaks. Sorry, I just can't leave my hair alone. I have to take breaks because the content is just so deep, complex, triggering. It's not fluffy. It's not light. It's down as like a romance series, but it's just so much more than that. But those are the 2 books that I am looking forward to that have recently come out. I think they both came out in May. I'm looking forward to getting to those. So question number 4 is, what is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? So the ones I was most anticipated about, so Onyx Storm, Release Intent, Rewind It Back, they've already come out. And there isn't really anything that I am waiting for the rest of the year. So I don't really have anything. But if I've got some auto by authors, so Ali Hazelwood, Elsie Silver, Kennedy Ryan, Chloe Walsh, Liz Tom Ford. So if they were to release anything in the next 6 months, then I would be picking it up. Question number 5 is the biggest surprise. So this could either be you thought you were going to love it and you didn't, or you thought you were going to find it all right and you loved it, which is what it is for me. So my one for this is Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. I have read quite a few Christina Lauren books and I've loved them, and for some reason I just didn't want to reach for this one. I don't know why. I'm very much a judge a book by its cover kind of girl, which I know is wrong. And I didn't love this cover, but actually the cover's growing on me. So I picked it up and I absolutely loved it. It was funny, it was romantic. I loved both the characters. I loved that the third act conflict was resolved in a mature way. I just love it. I think, well, I know it is my favourite Christina Lauren book that I've read so far to date. I've got 2 more to read. I've got Love and Other Words and The Paradise Project. Is that what it's called? To read. So it'd be interesting to see. But if you just want a rom-com, like, and by definition, like, this is funny, like, then I really, really recommend pretty much any of their books, but this one is my favourite so far. Question number 6. Favourite author debut or an author that is new to me. So this one was a really easy one for me, and that is Kennedy Ryan. Kennedy Ryan has a lot of books out, and I will be working through her backlist. The one I picked up first was This Could Be Us, which was the book 1 in the Skyline series. I've also now read the second one, and the third one, Can't Get Enough, is on my TBR for June. For July, if you've seen my July TBR video. If you haven't, then that is up. And then I've also got the Hoops series by her, which I haven't yet read, but very much looking forward to. Kennedy Ryan, the 2 books, so granted I've only read 2 books, but the 2 books I've read so far, and from what we get of the main character in this one, Hendrix, the way she writes women is incredible, and she writes female friendships, female relationships. The love of a man should be an addition to love you have for yourself, not instead of. And I absolutely love it. And she is one of my favourite authors of all time, and I cannot wait to work my way through her backlist. Okay, question 7 is newest fictional crush. So when I was like prepping my notes for this, bear in mind I've read about 60 books so far this year. There was one really obvious answer, and I was like, surely not, like, because it's so cliche, it's so obvious. And I was looking through my Goodreads at all the books I've read, and I have some honourable mentions, so I'm going to do my honourable mentions first. So Josh from Josh and Hazel, love him, he's brilliant. Lochran from Throne of Glass, Nicholas from My Fault, but not the books as such, but the film, My Fault London. I haven't watched the one that's the Spanish one. I've only watched My Fault London. But the winner is Zayden from Fourth Wing. As I said, it's very cliche. anyone that's read those books probably feel the same. I just love him. Enemies to lovers done properly, because they actually had genuine reasons to hate each other. He's a burn the world for her, die for her, and I love it. And the last book was quite hard, so I'm hoping we get more of that Xaden in the next couple of books, but gotta wait a couple of years for that. But yes, so my answer to my newest fictional crush is Xaden. Okay, question number 8 is a book that made you cry. So, Kingdom of Ash made me cry. I was sobbing. My husband was asleep in bed next to me, and I was doing like silent sobs because I didn't want to wake him up. Saving Six obviously made me cry. Full Tilt, which I've spoken about in my April and May read and wrap up. Crooked Kingdom, because no spoilers, but something happens to one of the characters. And Take My Hand. But this was more like angry crying, because it's just so disgusting what happens. And then I mentioned, because I tried to film this yesterday and it didn't go very well, so I'm filming it again today. But in between then, I started reading Winter Garden last night by Kristen Hanna, and I've got to page 70 something, and I was crying, and my husband was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm not okay." So quite a few books, but then anyone that knows me in real life knows I am an emotional person. So, take it with a grain of salt that a lot of books make me cry. Question 9 is a book that made you happy. So again, I've got probably several, but Kingdom of Ash made me happy. The X-Files, which is like a really lovely second chance romance that I read earlier in the year, and Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. That just made me laugh a lot, to be honest. And I've got the second one caught up on my shelf, ready to go. So hopefully I'll be picking that up. There will probably be more, but they're the ones that stuck out as giving me like happy feels. Number 10 is the most beautiful book you've bought this year or received. I haven't got it with me, it's literally downstairs, but I'll put it up on the screen. The Crimson Moth, stunning. Just the cover is stunning. The inside artwork, I ignore it because that's not what Gideon looks like. But the hardcover that I've got, and I really, really love the cover for The Heartless Hunter, which is the same book but the American version, which I quite like. That there's the two names, because obviously one is, what is her name? One is Gideon and one is Rune, isn't it? So the Crimson Moth is Rune and the Heartless Hunter is Gideon. But anyway, yeah, stunning. And I think the Rubber Witch is really pretty as well, but I don't have that yet, and I haven't read that yet. So yeah, that was the most beautiful book I've bought this year. Question 11 is what books you need to read by the end of the year. So obviously this is my TBR. These 3 shelves behind me is my TBR. So as many of them as possible, but specifically I would like to get through The Boys of Tommen, and just wrap up a few more series. So in July I'll be wrapping up 2 more series, which is really good. I'm making progress with a couple others, but then I'm also starting a couple more, which is, if you'd have seen my July TBR video, then you know that I was excited that I was going to be wrapping up some videos, and then ended up starting the same amount that I'm wrapping up. But it's not getting worse, I don't think. So yeah, I'm just going to be focused on getting through my TBR. I am on a book buying ban at the moment. I have been since about April, and that was with the exception of pre-orders, which I haven't got any now. And because I'm trying to finish all these series, if I need the next one in a series too. So for example, I'm due to start this in July. It's on my July TBR. This is the first of 4 books. If I just wanted to get the series done, then I'm allowed to buy the books to finish the series. Yes, so that's that. So basically, what books you need to read by the end of the year, as many of these as possible. But I don't want to rush them. I want to enjoy them. They're not going anywhere, so yeah. Okay, so question 12 is how many 5 stars of the year so far? Now, I thought, definitely compared to like 2021, 2022, because if I look at my Goodreads, I'd like maybe look back at those years and I go, there's no way if I was to read that book now, for example, Colleen Hoover books, that they'd be 5 stars. And that's not to say they were, it's just because since 2021 I've read so many more books that you obviously change how you sort of change what you're comparing it to. So I was like, oh, I don't think I'm going to have that many. I still have quite a lot. So I am definitely not as, what's the word? Picky with giving out 5 stars as some people are. But only compared to myself, I've gotten stricter. So I'm going to fly through and put them up on the screen. So Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, The X-Files, Before I Let Go, Lights Out, We Are the Match, A False Start, Queen of Shadows, Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, Caught Up, the Windy City one, not the follow-up to Lights Out, Take My Hand, Play Along, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, Beartown, Full Tilt, Kingdom of Ash, This Could Be Us, Saving Six. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 out of 60. So that's just under 33%, isn't it? So, I mean, stricter than I have been, but I'm just reading books that I really want to read. And, you know, unless there's some glaringly obvious, like, typing mistakes or whatever, or plot holes, I'm not reading to criticise. On the whole, I'm reading to enjoy. So yeah, they're the books I've rated 5 stars, and so far I stand by all of them. It'd be interesting to see if, like, in another couple of years, if I look back on these books and go, actually, probably wouldn't rate them 5 stars. But yeah, they're the 5-star books that I've rated so far. Question number 13: what books do you want to reread this year? So I'm not a big rereader, because there's just so many books that I haven't read yet that I do want to read. If I was going to reread a book this year, though, I think it would be A Court of Mist and Fury, which is one of my favourite books of all time. Just to get those early feelings. I don't want to give anything away. I don't want to give anything away because I just recommend ACOTAR to anyone that hasn't read it. So, but that is the second book in the ACOTAR series, and I absolutely love it. But I don't think there's no plans for me to reread it at any time soon. A book you enjoyed which had mixed reviews with question number 14. So I had a look through my Goodreads and I didn't really find anything too controversial, but one that I think, hang on, let me see if I can find it. So I know that this has had quite a lot of mixed reviews. This is still on my TBR shelf, and I haven't got any plans to read it just yet. But I know that this was quite controversial, but I just think I'm going to really enjoy it. Could be wrong. I could fall in line with a lot of the things that I've seen. But out of like the books on my TBR, that was probably the one where I was like, that's the one I'm probably going to really love, where everyone else is a bit like, because I'm pretty sure it's rated pretty low on people's rankings of Ali Hazelwood books. But I think I'm going to enjoy it. But I definitely think I'm going to enjoy it more than like Not in Love and Problematic Summer Romance, which is on my book, but they're the same series. So I'm looking forward to this one, even though I know a lot of people haven't loved it. And finally, the last question 15, is any 5-star predictions for the rest of the year? So obviously I don't know exactly what I'm going to be reading the rest of the year, but if I was to get to them, then I think every book in the Boys of Tommen series is going to be 5 stars. So that is Redeeming 6, Taming 7, and where did it go? Releasing 10. So these are the 3 I've got left to read. This is a 5-star prediction. This is a 5-star prediction. And let me just have a look at my shelves and see. I mean, if I get round to it, then I'm sure House of Earth and Blood would be. I've got high hopes for Lady of Darkness. I've also got high hopes for A Fate Inked in Blood. Interestingly, My Fault, which is the first book of the series, was a 5-star prediction, but it wasn't a 5-star for me. So now the rest of the series is no longer 5-star. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of them are going to be really, really good because that's why I want to. That's why I want to read them. But yeah, those are the ones. So like The Boys of Tom and Rewind It Back and Can't Get Enough. Okay, so that is all of the questions in the mid-year reading tag. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If there are any books I've mentioned that you have read and you agree with me or you don't agree with me, or you would like to read, then leave me a comment down below so we can just chat about books. I'll also leave links down below to my book talk, my Instagram, and also the Benable app where I have a list of my favourite books, which I'm still adding to. I've still got several to add, but if you wanted to purchase any of them and you use the link, then I would get a little bit of commission. This isn't sponsored or anything, but as I'm going to leave the link, I thought I'd just mention that. Yeah, so please like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.